Throughout our busy lives, I'm sure all of you guys have gotten desperate or overwhelmed in one area or another. I know I definitely have. I vividly remember this one time back when I was a sophomore in high school in my honors global class. The teacher was really odd, the course content was all over the place, and the entire class was just so disorganized. We were learning about random things, and the way we tested and how the class was structured just made everything oh so difficult. For one of our final projects, we had to write a paper on a person and something related to them. I had to write mine on Milton Friedman, whoever the heck that is. Some of you might know who that is because I didn't and still don't, and laissez-faire. I don't know. I remember that there was very little instruction on how to write the paper or exactly what we should write about, and I was freaking out. It was the night before the initial rough draft was due, and I had nothing done because I was in high school, so of course I procrastinated until the last minute. I had absolutely no idea what to write about, and I don't think I've ever been more lost on an assignment in my life. I can vividly remember taking a shower to give myself a break from brainstorming and just bawling my eyes out in there. I legitimately prayed to God the whole time just to get me through this, and honestly, just find a way to get words on the page. I was so overwhelmed and was looking for a divine intervention to get this paper done. I eventually finished it, and I think I might have nearly pulled an all-nighter, but it was finally over. Anyways, that instance still sticks out in my mind to this day because of how overwhelmed and helpless I felt. I know you guys have probably experienced that same feeling in your lives, and probably some of you in more dire and serious situations than my honors global paper on Milton Friedman. During these times of desperation, when God has not immediately answered my prayers or taken away the stress, I thought, maybe it's because this is something He wants us to deal with, or being overwhelmed is an obstacle that we have to conquer ourselves in order to grow. However, I'm here to tell you that that is definitely not true. Jesus gets us, and He is there to help the desperate and the overwhelmed. In Luke chapter 8, verses 40 to 56, Jesus heals people in response to their faith. In the first half of this passage, Jesus heals the woman who had been bleeding for years. In the busy crowds that surrounded and followed Jesus wherever He went, the woman was healed through her faith that she just needed to touch Jesus' clothing. She didn't need Him to touch her wounded area or bathe 7 times in a pool. She truly believed that she just had to touch His clothing. And her faith was all that she needed. In the latter half, Jesus raised a young girl from the dead. When He got there, He reassured the father that his daughter was going to be okay. Jesus brought the girl back to life and explained to everyone that she was just sleeping. Now, I'm sure both the bleeding woman and the young girl and her family were both very stressed. I mean, it was literally a life or death situation for them. However, even through it all, their faith is what enabled them to be healed. Sure, they were overwhelmed and desperate, but Jesus was there for them throughout. So when we are stressed about our honors global paper about Milton Friedman that's due the next morning, or whatever you guys have to go through and deal with, I don't know that God is there for you. It doesn't matter what it is, He is on your side and He wants to help alleviate. You just need to ask and have faith that He will.